If you're an insurance agent thinking about final expense telesales, I'm going to give you three things you'll really want to take to heart before you ever take the plunge and say, I do. 90% of the agent force fails, and sometimes it's because they failed to unpack a couple little things before they dove into this fun, rewarding, but yet sometimes really frustrating profession. So before I go into this, my name's Jason. I'm your friend in the industry, and I'm so insanely blessed to partner and recruit with some of the most amazing agents as well as agencies across this nation selling life, Medicare, and annuities face to face, but more importantly, in the telespace together, and free resources for your taking always at jasonfinalexpense.com. So, first off, when you jump into this industry, you've got to understand you either will follow through or you will fail out. Not everybody is made to be a 1099. A lot of folks don't have the self discipline that's required to find success. So, you've got to really look yourself in the mirror and go, can I follow instruction? Can I really get up and do what I say I'm going to do? Because talk's cheap, walk is where you're going to find the wealth. But it's all about discipline. And I know everybody hates the D word in the accountability word, but it's very, very critical to you capitalizing. So let's get after it. First off, tip number one with final expense telesales, you've got to have a script, and a script. A script is just structure, my friends. It's not something that confines you. It's not a doghouse or a jail cell. It's just what you need so that you can have consistency in the business. Final expense telesales isn't about just grabbing a phone and saying whatever creeps into your mind. That'll cause you to bleed out a lot of cash paying for leads. You've got to understand you've got to have proven power scripts and you've got to be in a place where you're ready to use them. It's just a structure, but you've got to follow that structure no different than if you were trying to build a home. You can't just like throw stuff together like you were in your backyard building a fort. You want to build a nice home, a nice building, and you've got to start with a foundation. A foundation is everything. And if the foundation's off, everything that you're trying to build upon it is going to collapse as well. That's why it's so important that you vet your trainer, vet your agency, make sure they've got a background in telesales. Very important so that you don't get beat up in an industry that, like I say, fails out about 90% of the agent force. You want to make sure that your trainer is a $1 million roundtable producer personally and that has done telesales for a long time. I've been in this industry over 2+ decades, 20+ years with my experience in the insurance world combined with my telesales background. It's a very big thing, but you've got to be about the fundamentals. Scripting sounds so insanely boring, but it's what you need to be about so that every sales call you can have consistent results. Number two, beyond just the script, which is very important. If you don't have a good script, you're kind of screwed anyway. But being robotic in your presentation versus coming at it from a real personable approach. A lot of insurance agents will jump into a script and they never practiced it. They never drilled it. They never rehearsed it. They never went through a 5-day telemastery program like what we provide at jasonfinalexpense.com. And they jump on a script and they sound like a robot. Hi, this is Jason on a recorded line. You asked about final expense coverage. You want to buy from me? That's pretty much what you're saying. Don't start off in a way that's robotic. You'll never find real results when you sound like a robot. You wouldn't want to be talked to that way, and your prospects sure don't as well. So you've got to sound real, not robotic. And that comes from having partners that have done this that can kind of pour into you to give you the best chance, not guarantee, but the best chance that you have of survival and success. But sounding robotic will give you nothing good. You're going to get hung up on a lot. And you could have maybe had success if you put the time in. So you got to sound real. You got to sound personable. Okay. When you're on that phone, don't be afraid of fumbling over your own tongue. I do it all the time. If you subscribe and watch to my channel, you're going to see it. Look, just did it right there. It's going to happen. You've got to keep leaning forward and finding ways to deliver value for your consumer. But sounding robotic is a real problem that fails out agents too, because they don't put the time in. They say they want to have a business, but they don't put any back into it when they're focusing on their script. They don't put any time in, and then they wonder why they trip over their own tongue. They can't get the message across, and then they don't make any money. So robotic sounding agents is a big cause of failure too. Don't sound robotic. Just be who you are. Be the best version of who you are and go help great people. So number two, don't sound robotic. Number three, which kind of goes into number two a little bit, is you've got to understand people don't want to be talked to. They want to be talked with. There's a difference. You've got to walk alongside of your clients. You've got to help them with their problems, but they don't want to be talked to. And sometimes agents, you're talking to your prospects. They don't like that tune. You've got to talk with them, walk along their side, and then help them see their problem. And then maybe through their own pain points, they see, you know what, this guy's got a powerful solution. Now you're an order taker and a problem solver versus the pushy salesman that exists. So understand number three, your clients don't want to be talked at. They want to be talked with. Come along their side as their just powerful advocate. You're going to advocate for them. They've got families, they've got kids, they've got friends that need you. Let them know that you're the one that they need to solve their problems. So talk with them, don't talk at them. And that goes back to your script. Make sure you've got proven power scripts like what we use. It's very, very critical. Now, once you've gotten into a position where you don't sound robotic, you know your script, you now know what you need to do, well, you're not going to talk with that client, not talk at them. Now you got to understand you got to deliver value. Value is what they want. Value is important. And then let them know that you're going to give them service. Everybody wants to be served, and people will pay for good service. I certainly do. If I go to a restaurant that's got great food but lousy service, let me tell you, I won't be going back. This is critical for you. With those sales calls, let them know the service that you bring, the value proposition that you provide, and then let them know the coverage at that point, the one, the two, and the three, but it's all about what the client needs, what the client wants, and they wish and desire. You've got to focus and follow through with what you say you're going to do. If not, you're going to fail out. A lot of folks don't have the discipline, the habits that are necessary to have success in this space. Sometimes they're better off being a W-2, where a boss tells them to get up and have a smoke break and take a vacation. I could never think about that kind of a life, but the 1099 independent business owner it's a tough space if you're not disciplined. You've got to be about your business, or you're going to work for a boss that's going to tell you what to do. And put in the comments below if you enjoy being an insurance agent. Let me know in the comments. And what do you think is the toughest part of disciplined behavior in this industry? Love to know your thoughts and concerns as well. And anything I can do to serve you, reach out. JasonFinalExpense.com will absolutely help you. And I hope these 3 tips take you far in your career. Remember, you've got what it takes. We'll see you soon.